Animals truly are remarkable in their ability to adapt to their environment. This adaptation is especially apparent during the winter months when temperatures and scarce resources make survival challenging. Some animals, such as birds, migrate to warmer climates where food are more readily available. Other animals, like the polar bear and Arctic fox, behavioral and physiological adjustments to cope with harsh, cold conditions. However, the most impressive adaptation is certain animals are able to survive for months without food by reducing their metabolic rate and bodily functions, conserving energy and resources. Some animals have the ability to store large amounts of fat to sustain them through the winter. All in all, animals are incredibly creative in their strategies for hibernation is a remarkable process that some animals experience during winter season. It is a period of inactivity that helps animals to conserve their energy during the harsh winter months. Hibernation, via the significantly, and its state of torpor, where it can survive on this animal to lower its and rate precious energy resources that would otherwise be spent on maintaining normal bodily functions. Hibernation is commonly observed in mammals, particularly rodents, bats, and bears, but it is also found in some amphibians and even insects. The of hibernation are numerous, and two of these animals, allowing them to endure winter and emerge in the spring, ready normal. Animals have evolved different mechanisms to survive the challenging conditions of their environment. One such mechanism is spore. Torpor is a temporary state of reduced physiological activity and lowered body temperature. It is different from hibernation because it is a short-term state. It allows some animals to survive periods of low food availability and inclement weather without expending energy or risking exhaustion. For example, in cold nights, hummingbirds conserve energy by reducing their heat rate by up to 95%. Bats use spore to survive cold when food lowering that of their surrounding environment. General torpor of vital survival allows animals to endure harsh conditions and persist challenging environments. It is striking to think that not all animals hibernate, but this is true. Hibernation is an adaptation to survive and conserve energy during the winter months when food is not readily available or when the climate is too harsh to withstand. Only certain kinds of mammals, as bats, hedgehogs, some rodents, take part in this, while most animals are expected to sleep when they hibernate. Their body temperature drops, and their metabolism slows down. Some reptiles and amphibians do undergo a similar process called brumation during the winter months. However, instead of sleeping, they would still wake up to drink, move a bit, and then return to their inactive state. As researchers continue to explore astounding phenomenon, it's fascinating how different animals adapt environment ways. Animals that hibernate typically enter a state of greatly reduced metabolic activity to conserve energy during the winter months when food is scarce. This allows them to survive extreme cold, scarce food supplies, and lack of water. Interestingly, the duration and depth of hibernation vary depending on the animal species. Hibernation duration can vary depending on several factors like age, sex, reproductive stage, habitat, and the animal size. Larger animals usually have lower metabolic rates and hibernate for longer periods than smaller animals. In addition, some species of animals can experience periodic arousals during hibernation, while others remain dormant until spring arrives. Overall, hibernation is a remarkable survival strategy used by several animal species to cope with environmental conditions. Shot 4. Why do animals hibernate? Animals have different strategies for survival, and hibernation is one such strategy. The winter season typically has extreme weather conditions and a scarcity of food sources. As a result, animals opt to conserve their energy and fat reserves during this period to avoid starving to death. Hibernation is an effective means of achieving this conservation. By slowing down their metabolic processes, animals can significantly reduce their energy requirements while still remaining alive. Interestingly, hibernation season. Animals hibernate during the summer season because food sources become scarce. Additionally, hibernation allows animals to avoid predators and unfavorable conditions, thereby increasing their chances of survival. However, it's not just predators and weather that trigger animals' hibernation instincts. Other animals also hibernate to conserve their energy when food becomes scarce. For instance, bears age because diet mostly of nuts and berries which are scarce during winter. Through the winter months conserve energy and can survive without food for several. Similarly, small rodents such as hamsters and andrels also hibernate during the winter to reduce their metabolic rate, and this is a survival strategy that them conserve their limited energy resources until more food is in the spring. Hibernation is an essential adaptation technique that helps survive and adapt to their respective environments. Hibernation might seem like a simple process, but there is much complexity involved in the physiology behind it. During hibernation, the metabolism of the animal drops significantly, and the body temperature drops as well. This can result in the animal using very little energy and oxygen. Additionally, the animal's heart rate, breathing rate, and blood flow also lower, allowing them to conserve energy for their long period of inactivity. The reduction in energy consumption is essential during times when food is scarce, as it ensures the animal's survival until food becomes available again. While hibernation is an incredible adaptation that allows animals to survive in harsh environments, it requires a delicate balance of physiological changes to ensure their survival. Due to the reduced metabolic rate, some animals can survive on as little as 2% of the oxygen they would need if they were active. The metabolism of the animal also undergoes other changes, such as the breakdown of stored fats, which become a source of energy for the animal. Animals have a remarkable ability to adapt to their environment in order to survive. Due to the reduced metabolic rate, some animals can survive on as little as 2% of the oxygen they would need if they were active. This means that they can slow their body processes down to an incredible extent, allowing them to survive in harsh, low-oxygen environments that would kill most other animals. The metabolism of the animal also undergoes other changes to support this survival strategy. For example, stored fats are broken down to become a source of energy for the animal, ensuring that it can continue living without needing a large supply of food. This adaptation allows animals to thrive in some of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. Although hibernation is a useful adaptation for animals, it is not without its challenges. For example, animals that hibernate need to store enough energy and fat reserves to survive the winter. They also need to avoid predators and ensure that their hibernation location remains safe and undisturbed. Despite the challenges, hibernation remains an effective way for animals to survive the harsh winter months. However, not all animals hibernate in the same way. Some animals enter a state of torpor, where their metabolism slows down but they do not enter deep sleep. Other animals, such as bears, experience a drop in body temperature and heart rate during hibernation, while still being able to wake up and move around if necessary. Regardless of the method used, hibernation allows animals to conserve energy and avoid starvation during times when food is scarce. In addition to the aforementioned health problems, hibernation can also lead to decrease in bone density in certain. This is because during hibernation, animals significantly reduce their physical activity and spend the majority of their time sleeping. Without constant weight-bearing activities, bones lose their density and strength. As a result, animals may be at an increased risk of fractures or other bone-related injuries once they emerge from hibernation. Researchers are still studying the effects of hibernation on health, and there is still much to be about this fascinating biological process.